I hope that the art gallery doesn't get in the way of your being able to see me properly. All right, and then we'll just draw our knees into our chest and rock a little from side to side. And we'll close our eyes and deepen and slow down our breathing, maybe even sighing. Take a big deep breath. And we're going to just stretch in a pandiculation fashion. So fold right in, bring your face right up into your knees as well. Bring the face up and then stretch right out. So your fingers and toes are stretching away from one another. You're really active like a big star. Stretch and then fold back in again, fold back in. And we'll do that again. We'll stretch out. It may even be that you're pointing your toes, stretching your fingers, squeezing your buttocks. Okay, let's fold in and then we're going to roll to the side and just do the right side. So roll to the left side and then lengthen the top side. The right hand and foot reaches up and it's on the floor that your toes and your fingers are reaching, and then fold back in into a little ball into the center, roll to the right side, and then we'll stretch left hand, left toes. So fingertips and toes on the floor, pulling yourself in two directions once more. So fold back in. And then tip to the left, stretch right hand, right foot as far as you can away from one another. Once more, rolling into the center and then to the right side and stretching the left side. So pulling yourself into a big long line. Okay, and then roll back in and we'll just bring the feet onto the floor. So we've got the feet in line with the knees, in line with the hips. All right, we're going to lift our buttocks up as we inhale, lift the hands as well, all the way up over your head, lifting buttocks and hands, and then roll through the spine, roll down, roll down, roll down. So you can inhale, thrusting up, lifting as high as you can, hands lift each time you roll up, and then roll through your spine back to the floor on the exhalation. Let's do a few more rounds of that. And each time you thrust up, you can even flex your feet, so pushing through your heels, really squeezing your buttocks, and then rolling down. Let's do two more. Lifting up, inhale, flex the feet, push through your heels, really charging up everything, and then roll back down. Okay, once more. Pushing up, lifting the buttocks, lifting the hands, flexing the feet, just pushing through your heels, just charge up a little, and then roll back down. Well done. We'll just bring the knees back into the chest and give ourselves a little rock from side to side. We're waking up slowly. For most of you, it's the early morning. For those practicing in Australia, it's the evening and it's warm. But most of you are in morning bodies and it's cold. So we're going slowly and respectfully. Let's draw the left foot down and just keep the right knee into the chest. So just pulling the right knee in, but the left foot down. That's it. And we'll just swap a few times. So draw that right knee in and then swap, draw the left knee in, squeeze, and then swap. And so if you're protecting anything around your hips, around your sacrum, around your belly, just being careful and only doing the things that feel good. We're just going to swap around a few more times. So using our hands to pull the knee into the chest one at a time. And then we're going to stop using our hands. In fact, we're going to pull our right knee into our chest, float the left heel off the floor, lift the face up towards the knee. So the right knee into the chest, we're floating the left foot off the floor, lifting the face towards the knee, and then let go and pull your hands as far along your leg as possible for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the knee as you land down, swap sides, and we'll build the next one up as slowly. So left knee into the chest, and then you float the right foot, and then you lift your face, and then you pull your hands as far towards the left foot as you can for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then hold the knee as you land. Okay, let's do that again. Right knee into your chest, left leg long, left leg floats, knee squeezes in with the hands, lift the face, lift the hands, pull your hands. All right, so now we're going to swap without releasing. So swap and swap and swap and swap and swap. Keep your sense of humor. Swap. An instant little bit of heat comes in, swap. So it'll be last time on the right and last time on the left. Keep the left in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the knee as you land. Well done. Bring the knees right into the chest and rock a little from side to side. Let's stretch the belly muscles a little bit now after that charge. Bring the feet onto the floor beyond the mat, wider than the mat, bent knees. And then we're going to roll from side to side. So it's like we're windscreen wiping our legs from side to side, just to feel a little bit of length in the belly, especially the side belly. And now just emphasize, we'll go to one side, whichever side you prefer, and pull the back knee towards the floor. So you're really lifting the back hip and the back knee drawing towards the floor. Just feel this lovely space that you're creating across the back hip, all the way through the belly, through the hip. And then we'll switch sides and pulling the back knee towards the floor. The back buttock is off the ground. Give yourself lovely space. And then we'll release. Hopefully that's relieved after your belly was charged. All right, we're going to do Setu Bandhasan now, and we're going to do it as a kind of a pumping action. So lift the buttocks off the floor, come into a line between your knees, pelvis, and shoulders. Your hands can help a little bit. All right, we're going to go halfway back down and then squeeze the buttocks as we lift back up. We're just going to repeat that. Halfway down, lift back up. Halfway back down, lift back up. This is very Jane Fonda-like, and we're using the legs, using the buttock muscles as well as the lower back. We're just pumping the muscles. We're hydrating the muscles. We're giving them a moment to get a bit of heat, a bit of action. Okay, let's do the last 5, 4, 3, 2. We're going to stay up. 1. So stay up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Well done. Roll back down. Draw your knees back into your chest. And just soften your buttock muscles as much as you can. Have a little roll around. And while you're rolling around, move your ankles and feet. So you make circles with your ankles and feet, just giving your lower legs a little bit of attention. Let's stretch the legs now. Leave the left foot on the floor. The knee can be bent. Hold the back of the right knee with your hands, and then close your knee over your hands. Squeeze your knee closed so that your hands are getting squashed underneath, just squeezing, switching the muscles at the back of the leg on, squeeze, 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 and then soften before you stretch the leg, heel towards the ceiling, stretch the back of the leg. That's it. We're going to do that several times. So flop it back down, squeeze and squash the hands. You're switching on the back of the leg. You're switching on the knee flexion muscles. Squeeze, squeeze, soften before you stretch them, bringing the heel towards the ceiling. Let's do it a few more times. Squeeze the hands, squashing the hands, and squeeze the muscles at the back of the leg. And then soften before you stretch the back of the leg, heel towards the ceiling. Okay, last one. Squeeze, 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 switch everything on. And then soften the muscles before you stretch the leg up toward the ceiling. Walk your hands a little higher along the leg, and then point and flex and point and flex and point and flex. While you're doing this, you might have your eyes closed or open, but soften your eyes, soften your face and your jaw. Now rotate at your ankle joints, so rotating the foot around in space. As you rotate your foot, just unclench your jaw. We're just going to uncouple some of these actions. So you can release your face, even though your action down in the lower part of your body into the foot is quite challenging. We want to get a bit of burn in the muscles, a bit of heat. So keep going, keep circling or pointing and flexing for 5, 4, 3, 2. Hopefully it's nice and burny in there now. 1. Okay, draw your knee into your chest. Just give yourself a bit of a squeeze. Bring your right foot onto the floor and just take a moment to feel. Just drop our hands to the side, soft face. We'll feel that the right foot, the right lower leg, all the way up through the thigh into the hip might feel glowy and beautiful. Let's do the other side now. So the left knee into the chest, hands at the back. We're going to squeeze and squash our hands, squash, 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 and then release and lengthen the back of the leg, heel to the ceiling, and then close off the knee, squeeze, 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 soften before you lengthen and stretch the muscles, exactly. So keep going, just slowly switching on the back of the leg, and then switch them off before you stretch them out. This is a lovely way to wake up the back of the leg, muscles through the backs of the thighs, buttocks, all the way down through the calf muscle to the heel. So repeat, release, stretch. Let's do 2 more. Switching muscles on as much as you can, squeezing as tight as you can, and then soften and then stretch. Kind of as long as you can, and maybe the leg as close as you can. So really give yourself a bit of challenge. Last one. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And then soften before you stretch, 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 stretch. Okay, walk your hands a little higher, and then point, flex, point, flex. Soften your face, unclench the jaw. Rotate, rotate, rotate. Soft eyebrows, soften all the way into your temples, all the way into the outer eyes. Rotate in the other direction. Keep going, even though you start to feel a bit of heat come into perhaps the area around the shin, maybe around the foot. Keep going for 5, 4, keep spinning in circles, 3, 2, 1. Well done. The foot can come down. We just take a moment to feel, and the afterglow is so beautiful. It's worth taking a moment. All right, let's roll over to the side and come up into hands and knees next. We'll definitely be using 2 blocks in this session, so hopefully you've got blocks at home. Spread the fingers when you get to your hands and knees. And let's arch the spine. Just give yourself a moment of cat-cow. Arch the spine, inhale, and curl, exhale. Give yourself a little spinal release. Once you've done that a few times, just give yourself a moment to do any movement whatsoever that feels good. Maybe side stretching or moving your whole spine, gliding the whole spine in any which way feels good. Release your head and neck. Have this sense of continuity from the tailbone all the way into the base of the skull. So let's come forwards and down onto our bellies, onto our elbows, into Sphinx position. So the hands are out, you're pushing up through your elbows and broadening your shoulders. So tuck under your toes, and we're going to lift into half elbow plank. So lift as though your belly button's lifting you up, just to the knees. Lift from the belly button, so tucking the belly button in. And then draw your elbows and knees towards each other. You're just sucking the elbows and knees. You're just switching on a little bit. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then the thighs, belly, and chest can come all the way down. And we'll have a little micro sleep because it's quite nice to have a little break after the intensity of those half elbow planks. So just give yourself a moment on the floor. I'm going to do that again. So elbows underneath the shoulders into the Sphinx. And I like to tuck my toes just because I feel more stable when I've got my toes on the floor. You might feel the same, but we're only going to the knees. Okay, lift as though from the belly button, as though the belly button's lifting you up. That's it. And then drag your elbows and knees towards each other. Keep lifting your belly button in and up. That's it. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done. Thighs, belly, chest. You can have a little micro sleep. Can you fall asleep in 5 seconds? So that means just soften everything that you can soften. Let's go to full elbow plank now and warm up the shoulders. So we're going to tuck the toes and we're going to lift all the way up and off our knees. So lift as though from the belly button and then charge up through the legs. That's it. So you're in an elbow plank. You've got one line from the heels to the shoulders, breathing deeply, charge up the legs a little more, push through your elbows, broaden through the shoulder blades, not looking up, looking maybe down, or maybe perhaps just tucking the chin down slightly for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done. Knees, thighs, belly, chest, micro sleep. Just letting the belly muscles just completely soften if you can. Ungrip completely the pelvic floor. Ungrip all of the muscles around the buttocks, thighs, all the way down to the feet. Let's go back up into elbow plank and then rock a little forwards and backwards. Set elbows underneath the shoulders, tuck under with the toes, lift as though from the belly button, charge through the legs, and then rock forwards and backwards. So you're pushing back to the heels and then forwards, back to the heels and forwards, back, forwards, back, forwards. Well done, yes. Back to the heels, good. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, well done. Knees, thighs, belly, micro sleep. You might feel like having a big, deep sighing breath at this stage. All of this beautiful action through the center of our bodies. Let's peel off the floor and go into a down dog next. So come up into down dog. Then one knee at a time to stretch the back of the legs, release the head and neck. Give yourself a moment. And from down dog, we can really get kind of into the spine, into the hips, into the legs, all the way through the spine into the neck spine. So give yourself a little down dog wiggle around. And then we'll walk forwards into floppy forward bend. So walking forwards, hold your elbows and then soften your knees a little and flop down. Release your head and neck. You can move your head around a little bit. Taking a moment here just to soften shoulders, spine, neck. Take another breath here, releasing as much as you can. And then walk up the legs. And then widen your stance. Morning. Okay, we're going to widen our stance and go from side to side. Toes out, knees out. Hopefully there's a little bit of heat, even though I know it's pretty cold in Europe, snowing in London. All right, sliding as though you're on a wheelie chair. Well done. Okay, let's go warrior 2 right side. So charge out through the left leg, bend the right knee, warrior 2. And we're going to move our hands out to the sides, palms up, inhale, reach up, lengthen the right leg. Lengthen the right leg as you reach up. Exhale, hands down, back into warrior 2. We're just going to do that several times. Inhale, reach up. Exhale out. Use this movement to allow the breathing to be smooth, audible, whispered. A real feature of your practice is you inhale, reach up, exhale out. 2 more. All right, we're staying in warrior 2. The right toes are out, right knee is out. Your hands are facing down. You're looking at the middle finger on your right hand with a soft face. 3 more breaths. 1. Exhale. 2, charge out through your arms. Charge up through the back leg. 3. Okay, let's have a break by bringing our elbow down onto our knee and our left arm up and over our head into side angle pose. Just letting yourself really lean on the elbow and then just take circles in the top arm. Just circle around with the top arm in any direction. Play around with the top arm. That's it. Take your fingertips, the left fingertips onto the shoulder and play around with a little short arm, a little elbow play, as though you've become kind of Tyrannosaurus Rex style. You've got a tiny little arm and you're playing around with that. All right, let's just take one more reach up and over into side angle pose. Just reach to infinity with your left fingertips. Another breath. and we're going to go up and over to the other side. So left side, warrior two. Left toes out, left knee tracks out. That's it. Charge up through the back leg, palms lift up, and we go inhale, reach up, lengthen the leg, exhale out, pushing palms down on the way out. That's it. Inhale, reach up. As smoothly as you can, gliding through space, kind of floating around through space as you breathe and move. Exhale, palms face down, reach out, warrior two. That's it. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale out. 3 more, up and out. Using this as a moving meditation, there are such simple actions so we can smooth out the mind and out. Last one, reach up and out and stay. Breathe deep, slow breaths. Charge out through the back leg, palms are facing down. Track the left knee out. 3 more breaths here. Smooth, slow breathing, 2. 3. All right, bring the elbow down so we can have a bit of a rest here, kind of leaning on a bar. Reach up and over with the top hand, side angle pose, just for a moment. Charge out through the back leg, really lean on the left elbow, but don't sink into the bottom shoulder. Reach up and out of the bottom shoulder a little bit, so not shrugging there. Reach up and over. Okay, big circles with the top arm. Let the arm be long initially, in any direction, so forwards or backwards. And then shorten the arm, fingertips onto the shoulder, circles with the elbow. You might find that there's some nice space getting created in the shoulder blade and the upper back with these arm circles. Last little reach up and over, last moment in the side angle pose. That's it. Reach, 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 reach. And then we'll come up and we'll take warrior two on the other side. So right side, warrior two. Okay, the arms are out. We're going to spin the wheel behind the back. So right arm up, left arm down, bend both elbows. Don't let the fingers touch and don't let the hands ground, and then just spin the wheel in the other direction. So bending the elbows, bringing the hands towards each other, but not touching, and then around and switch. So the idea is don't ground, don't land. The hands don't land, if possible. Don't put your head out of the way. Let the head be in line with the back of the spine. The arms can do the reaching backwards. That's it. This is tricky. It's really good conditioning for your shoulders. Spinning a wheel behind you, very tricky. Okay, the next time your right arm is up and your left arm comes down, bend the right arm, the right hand comes to the back of the head, the left hand comes to the back of the sacrum, so it's kind of easy just for a moment, and then tip to the side and just pause here. As you tip to the side, lift your hands backwards straight off your body for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Unwheel, unlaunch yourself out of that warrior two and go to the other side. Just swing your arms a little because you just need a little break in the shoulders. We're going to do the same drill on this side. So left knee bending, left toes out. Spin the wheel behind you. Even though there's a bit of fatigue coming in through the shoulders, you're going to be fine. The shoulders are meant to be strong. Unless you feel like this is maybe dangerous, just back off a little bit. If you feel like there's anything unnecessarily pinchy or dangerous about this exercise, back off a little bit, just do less. Don't give up entirely, but do a bit less. Spinning the wheel, trying not to touch the back of the body, but bringing the hands towards each other. Definitely not touching, but towards each other. 3 more spins, even though we're getting tired. All right, so the next time your left arm comes up and your right arm goes down, the left hand to the back of the head, right hand to the back of the sacrum, and tip to the side. Bend the left knee deeply, tip to the side, and then pull the hands off the back of the body, straight backwards. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Unwind, come out of this warrior two position and give yourself a little heel toe, heel toe. All right, we're just going to do a dance of shaking. We're going to just spend a minute shaking, a minute. Right up and off your heels, right up and off, kind of jumping, shaking. That's it. Make it asymmetrical so you can have a little twist. throw your arms around a little bit. We can release out of the last exercise. It's kind of like a little dance party on our mats. Just keep jumping, just keep going, just keep going. We want to just activate a little bit. We want to stimulate the metabolic rate. Just keep going, just go 30 more seconds. I know this is the longest minute in the history of minutes. I'm not very good at keeping time. Probably 20 more seconds. Just keep going, just keep jumping, just keep going. You're doing fine. We're at like a dance party. 10 more seconds. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Keep going, 5 more seconds. Okay, and then stop. And then just pause, close your eyes, breathe deep, slow breaths. Calm yourself down by breathing slowly. Once you feel like, okay, a little bit of shock, heart has been racing, breath is kind of under demand, the shock will pass. And what will be left is this beautiful glow. It will be passing. You might still feel the heart is racing a little bit. We feel like we might have kind of come out of the deep shock. I hope that you're feeling fine. All right, 2 more deep, slow breaths. And straight into Kapalabhati breathing. Bring your hands onto your belly. This is a short, sharp exhalation through the nose. Let me demonstrate for those who don't know it. Okay, we're going to do 40 rounds of that. If you need a tissue, I would get it now. Okay, ready? 40 pulses of Kapalabhati breathing. Ready and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40. Inhale, reach up and hold your breath in. Hold, 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 hold. Exhale, just let the hands come down to your sides. Once you've recovered from that, let's go straight back in, hands onto the belly. You might close your eyes, another 40 pulses. Getting a bit faster this time. Okay, ready and go. Twenty. 30. 1, 3, 40. Inhale, reach up and hold your breath in for a moment. Exhale, the air comes out through your mouth. Hold the breath out, push through your arms, but lean on your legs for 5, 4, holding your breath out, 3, 2, 1. You can stay there if you feel like it, otherwise release and stand up and recover. I'm going to do 1 more round of that. Okay, hands on the belly or holding your elbows above you. Holding your elbows above you maybe, or hands on the belly. Okay, so last 40, ready and go. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reach up, inhale, hold. Exhale, throw that air out. Lock through your elbows, hands on the knees. Lift your belly in for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done. Release, stand up, recover. Just give yourself a moment. Give yourself a general little stretch out, just kind of side stretch a moment. We're going to do some sun salutations next. So just give you whatever you need to do. You can wag your tail, just whatever has to happen for you to feel ready for sun salutations. We're going to bring our blocks into play to the top of the mat. We'll use them in a little while. So we won't use them initially. We're just going to do a couple of sun salutation A's, no blocks, no modifications, and no staying in the down dog. Okay, so right up the top of the mat, this is a moving, breathing practice. So inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, fold down into the forward bend. You can bring the hands to the back of the legs. Inhale, hands to the shins, half lift. Hands to the mat, right foot back, left foot back, plank. We'll take an extra breath in the plank. Spread the hands, inhale, plank. Exhale, lower all the way to the floor slowly. Inhale into the cobra, lift the chest, point through the toes. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, step, walk or jump forwards, half lift, hands on the shins. Exhale, hands at the back of the legs, fold forwards, forward bend. Inhale, all the way up, lift the hands, lift the gaze, and back to the beginning. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, the arms come up. Exhale, fold down, hands to the back of the legs. Half lift, hands to the front of the legs. Left foot, right foot plank. Stay in the plank, inhale. Exhale, lowering slowly down to the floor. Well done. Into a cobra, lift the chest, point through the toes. Down dog, exhale. Inhale, jump, step or walk, half lift. Exhale, forward fold, hands to the back of the legs. Inhale, all the way up. Back to the beginning, 1 more round. Using the breathing so it's very smooth. Inhale with a kind of sense of floating through space. Exhale, fold down, hands at the back of the legs. Hands at the front of the shins or the ankles, inhale. Right foot, left foot, plank. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower yourself down slowly. Exactly. Inhale, cobra, point through your toes into the chest. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, maybe jumping. Half lift, hands on the shins. Exhale, folding down, hands to the back of the legs. Inhale, all the way up, lift the hands, lift the gaze. Samasthiti, back to the beginning, well done. Sun salutation, B next. Inhale, sweep the arms, bend the knees, lift the hands, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold, hands to the back of the legs. Half lift, hands to the front of the legs or still on the mat. Left foot, right foot plank. We're going to stay 3 breaths in the plank. 3 breaths. Inhale, 1. Spread your fingers, lengthen your arms and your legs. Exhale. Inhale, 2. Charging up through your legs. Exhale. Inhale, 3. Well done. Go halfway down. Just take a little moment. Halfway down, pause. And then release all the way to the floor into a cobra. Lift the chest, point through the toes. Exhale into the down dog. So we're in down dog just for 3 breaths, just so we can enjoy some stillness. Spread the hands, lengthen the arms and the legs. Last breath here. Okay, bring your hands onto the blocks. Bring the blocks onto the mat underneath your hands. Bring your feet together at the back of the mat. You're in down dog. Lift your right heel straight up. Toes are facing down. 3-legged dog. Lift the heel straight up so the pelvis is square. 3 more breaths. 1. Exhale. Lift the heel a little higher. Square through your pelvis. 2. Charge through your arms. Spread your hands. Last inhale here. Exhale. Okay, step your right foot in between the blocks. Big step. That's it. Back foot comes a little bit closer. The heel stays lifted. Bend through the front knee and lift your hands. We're in a high lunge. Lunge dips next. Inhale, stretch the legs, stretch the arms. Don't push it, Lee. Exhale, bend both knees. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend. Inhale, lengthen. If you feel like it's easy, you go almost to the floor, but not quite. Inhale, lengthen. The lower you go, the harder it's going to be. Exhale, down. That's it. 1 more. Inhale, lengthen. Down, and we're going to stay. 3 breaths. 1. Exhale. You be careful, my dear. 2. Exhale. 3. Last breath here. Exhale, doing so well. Lift up, inhale. Hands on the block, step back, down dog, and just give yourself a little flush out of the legs. Just give yourself a moment in the down dog to get a break here. Feet towards the center, lift the left heel straight up, three-legged dog. Toes face down, heel lifts up, square through pelvis. We're up to 2. Exhale, spread the hands, push right back to the heel. 3. Exhale here. Big step in between the blocks with the left foot, back foot comes a little closer. Don't ground the right heel down. Then through the front knee, lift up. We're in a high lunge. Lunge dips, lift up on inhale, both legs straight. Exhale, both knees bent. The lower you go, the harder it is. Just be careful with the back knee. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. We've got one more and then we're going to stay. So inhale up, don't go too low, you'll go crazy, and stay 3 breaths. 1, exhale. 2, exhale. 3, exhale here. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands down, foot back, down dog. Just bend one knee at a time. Just give yourself a little flush out. Smooth out your breathing. All right, let's now take the right foot up, but this time point through the toes and open the hip. So it's nice and open this time. The right foot's really high to the sky, right foot lifted. Take a moment here. Step the right foot in between the blocks, in between the blocks. We'll have a break from this intensity in a sec, but not quite yet. Turn the blocks onto their top edge because we're lifting up into warrior 3. Blocks reach forwards and then jump off the back leg, flying. Square through the pelvis if you can. You might bring your hands back off the blocks. If it's too hard, keep your hands on the blocks. 3 more breaths. 1, exhale. 2, exhale. 3, and you can take the hands back to the blocks, foot comes back to the floor, blocks come back to the mat, and we step back and we're in down dog, flushing that out of the legs. Before we do the other side, we're going to do the one-legged pigeon on the right. So lift the right foot up towards the sky, and then the right knee behind the right block, foot comes in, we're in one-legged pigeon on the right side. Just give yourself a little break. Buttock can stretch open here, lean onto the blocks, and then soften completely in your face, kind of fall asleep in the posture if you can. This is just going to give us a break from all of the intensity of those postures. Smooth out your breathing. All right, let's come back through to 3-legged dog. So tuck the back toes, sweep the right foot up towards the sky, and then the right foot can come down. Okay, left foot lifts, toe lifts, we're opening the hip, lift higher, and then left foot in between the blocks, big step. Warrior 3, tip the blocks onto the edge, reach them forwards and jump off the back leg. See if you can square through the pelvis, maybe the hands come off the blocks. We've got 3 breaths. 1, exhale. This is a very tricky posture, so don't be surprised if it's very, very hard. 2, exhale. 3, and exhale. You can start to land, come back down. We're going to go 3-legged dog, lift the left foot up to the sky. 1-legged pigeon, left knee behind the left block, and rest. So hopefully it's feeling quite soothing to have a moment's rest, a moment of quiet. Take the opportunity to soften the face. All right, let's come back to down dog. Let's not use the blocks to come back. So we'll finish the sun salutation now. So back to 3-legged dog, sweep up, back to down dog. And we'll take 3 breaths in, down dog. Spread the hands, spread the toes, lengthen the arms, the legs, and the spine. Smooth out your breathing. 2. 3. Exhale here. Inhale, jump forwards. Half lift, hands on the ankles or the shins. Exhale, forward fold, hands at the back of the legs. Inhale, bend through the knees before you lift into a chair pose. And exhale, Samasthiti here. Just take a moment in standing. Give yourself a moment to feel the central channel. Eyes are closed, you're lifted nice and tall, you're strong. You have this stature, this human strength. It's who you are. Even if some days we don't feel as strong as we used to feel, or as strong as we would like to feel, you are still incredibly strong. If you can stand up, well, you're strong. Just accepting, acknowledging, and appreciating what we are here. And we'll take ourselves into a balancing position next. It's the standing number 4 pose. So we're hooking the right ankle onto the left knee and sitting as though we're pretending to sit into a chair. So bend the left knee. Your ankle is kind of resting on that left knee. This will be tricky. If you need the wall, you can take your hand onto the wall. Okay, sit as low as you're willing. Hands in, elbows float. And breathe. Inhale, 1. Exhale, maybe go a little lower. Inhale, 2. Exhale, go a little lower. Doing so well. Inhale, 3. Exhale, go a little lower. Okay, inhale, lift your fingers, lift your right knee, lift, 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 turn it on, turn it on, turn it on, and then release and flick that out of the legs, and we'll do the other side. Okay, so the number 4 pose, left ankle comes onto the right knee as the right knee becomes a chair or a tabletop for the ankle to sit, and then we pretend to sit down. Hands in, elbows float, pretend to sit down, establish your balance, and breathe. Inhale, 1. Exhale, sit a little lower. Make sure you're nice and square with your pelvis. Inhale, 2. Exhale, sit a little lower. Inhale, 3. Maybe a little lower. Well done. Lift the fingers, lift the hand, lift, 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 and pause, 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 and then release and flick that out of the legs. All right, so we're just going to do one more kind of quite difficult exercise before we come down onto the ground and cool all this off. So we need a block underneath the left foot. I'm going to stand on a block. So if you're having trouble with hips, this is going to be really hard. So just don't be surprised if it's a bit too tricky. All right, let me demonstrate. We haven't done this for a while. We lift the right knee out and then we try and bring the right little toe as far across the mat as possible. And we touch and then we bring the right knee out and then flying, the leg comes behind. We go as low as we can and then out and then fly down. This is a really deep adduction, which is very unusual for us, especially under load. Lift out and then fly, 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 fly. Touch the little toe down, reach out with the knee and then hold it. Well done. Just take a moment of balance and then release, kick that out of the legs. We'll do the other side. This is really tricky stuff and can be incredibly powerful, but we need to just do whatever measure is sensible. Okay, left knee out. And then we're going to cross the left little toe far along the mat as you can, touch. And then the left knee out. And then across, 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 across. This is a very humbling position to be in. It's really hard. And then out. Don't go so far that you pull or strain anything. You don't want a groin strain here. We want to do 5 little sweeps. That's it, out. You guys are doing so well. This is second last. Okay, last one, out. And then flying down, touch little toe towards the floor. Well done. And then just hold the knee to recover. Notice how stable you are. And then release, Kick that out of the legs. All right, let's do a sun salutation to get to the floor. Come to the front of the mat. Let's inhale, the arms come up. Exhale, hands to the back of the legs into the forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Hands down, step back. We're in the plank for an extra breath. Inhale, plank. Exhale, halfway down or all the way down to the floor, to chaturanga or the floor, into an up dog or a cobra. And into down dog, exhale. So we're going to go to the floor now. You can jump through or just bring your knees down onto the floor, spin your feet to the side, and then bring your feet around to the front. Okay, so we're doing boat position. This will be challenging for the abdominal wall. So we're modifying if we're protecting our abdomen, if we have anything to protect there. So lift the knees. This is almost over, my darlings. This yoga class doesn't last very much longer. So enjoy the ride. Let go. Lengthen the legs, maybe. I mean, go crazy. We've got 3 breaths. It's going to go so fast. 1. Exhale. 2. We're almost going to miss this boat right when it's finished. Exhale. Last inhale. Ah, so delicious. Give yourself a hug. So you can go back to that boat, and it might be that you just leave your knees bent. We're going to open and close the boat. So come into a little bent knee boat. Hands out. Of course, if you're protecting back, you're not going to be doing anything like this. Open and close the boat 5 times. Ready? Open the boat. Inhale. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. This is fun, right? Exhale, close. Only got 2 more. Open, close. I've got to heat up Europe. Open, close. We'd better just do 1 more and stay. Open and stay for 5. Come on, play with me. 4, 3. You like a little kayak. 2, 1. Flop onto the floor. Flop down onto the floor. Give yourself a moment. After that low boat, there's nothing quite like a little micro sleep on the floor. We've come to the time in the session where I like to do inversions. I'm going to ask those who have an inversion practice, handstand, headstand, Pincha Mayurasana, any of the power poses, do that now. If you haven't got a headstand, handstand power practice, let's just do dolphin. We're going to roll to the side and come back onto our elbows. Interlock the fingers. So be my guest. Any inversion that has the arms up over the head will suffice. Okay, lift off the knees, look back at the toes, push through the triangle. 3 breaths in the dolphin pose. If you are in headstand, handstand, pincha practice, continue on, just ignore me for the next few minutes. Just take a few minutes for your inversion practice. Just that we can't stay in dolphin for a few minutes. So we're just going to come out now, bring the knees down, just rest for a moment into a child's pose, bring your face onto your hands maybe. And then we're going to do swimming dolphin next. We're just going to swing in the arms first, just to give ourselves a break. Swimming dolphin goes from dolphin to elbow plank. And just let me remind you, if you've forgotten, this is dolphin. We need to make it a little bit wider because we're going to go from wide dolphin to elbow plank. Wide dolphin, elbow plank. We want to do that at least 5 times, maybe 10. So that's it. Don't collapse down too much when you go into the elbow plank. So we really want to feel some stability, a hollow front. That's it. Get some strength and heat in the shoulders. Exactly. That's it. 5 is good. 10 is great. 10 is the maximum. I wouldn't do more. You guys are looking great. This is looking very strong. Okay, once you've done your 10, that was very good work. Let's come into a seated position. We'll go into a double pigeon position and we'll start to calm and cool down. cross your right foot in front of your left foot at the shins, and then bring the outer blades of your feet onto the floor and sit nice and tall. So it's very different from sitting in the park and tucking your feet under. It's a very active position where there's squareness in the legs. Push a little through the outer blades of your feet, lift nice and tall, and then come onto your fingertips. Come forward. That's it. Close your eyes. We'll do down regulating breath. The 4, 7, 8 breath now. We're going to inhale for 4, hold for 7, and then on the count of 8, we're going to blow out through a straw. The 8 count blows out through a straw through the mouth. Okay, ready? Join me for an inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out through a straw. 2, 3. Maybe going further forwards in the posture. 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out through a straw, maybe going a little further into the posture, maybe going further down. 5, 6, 7, 8. Last inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blowing out through the straw. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well done. Just release yourself into passive breathing. Enjoy a moment in the posture without any instruction. And then we're going to ease out and we'll switch sides. So crossing left foot, left shin in front of right. Action through your feet a little bit. Flex through the feet. Sit up really, really tall. Hands on the knees. Tipping forwards onto the fingertips. And we'll use the same breath model, the 4, 7, 8 breath. And each time we exhale, we're going to go slightly deeper in the posture. Close your eyes, soften your face. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blowing out through the straw, maybe going a little further forwards. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blowing out through a straw. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last round in. 2, 3, 4. Holding in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blowing out through a straw. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go into passive breathing. Just enjoy the posture, maybe going a little further or backing up, whatever is necessary now. And then we'll ease up and out of that position. Just give yourself a moment to settle into a seated position. We'll take a couple of minutes in seated, and then we'll go into relaxation, and I'll leave you in your relaxation. So just come up into something that's comfortable, that you can sit up tall onto a block maybe if you feel it supports you. Closing your eyes. And I got some really good feedback about the little mudra sequence that we did the other day. And I've gotten a little new fetish for this sequence. There's something about the closing of one year and the beginning of another. It marks something that we can kind of freshen up. We can address things that might have crept in that we're adapting to. Those habits that we're like, God, I'm really bored with that kind of habit that I have. And I'd really like to fulfill my dreams somehow, sometime. And so the marker of the close of one cycle and the beginning of the next is always a really good kind of time to shift a gear. All right, Ganesha is the remover of obstacles. So we're Ganapati Mudra. We're going to take the right hand out and the left hand in and hook the fingers, soften the shoulders and pull out just a little bit. If you pull out too much, you start to activate the upper back too much. We don't want too much activation. Just feel steady. And we'll do 3 breaths here. Soft eyes, 1. Imagine that there is all the resources that you need for the things that you want to do. Clear a path for yourself. 2. Use the power of your mind, the power of your confirmation bias to remove that which you might feel is in your way. Open a space for yourself. 3. Give yourself an open field of possibility. Let's sit in a very powerful pose. We're going to take our first fingers out into the diagonals and take the 3rd finger and the thumb to touch. The little finger can join the thumb. Okay, reaching out in a very powerful stance. This is a very can-do warrior kind of position. Couple of breaths here, reaching up and out. Feeling bright at the center. Last breath here. I'm going to do Ganapati Mudra again. Left fingers face out, right fingers face in. Hook and pull just a little bit, not too much. Broaden through the shoulders. If this starts to annoy your shoulders, you can just bring it down a little bit. It doesn't have to be uplifted like this. Soft eyes, slow breathing, clear your path. Give yourself a bit of space, a possibility that indeed you can do the things that you want to do. It will be really a matter of faith and focus. And so we're using this mudra exercise for a bit of faith and a lot of focus. Bring the first finger and thumb together and bring the other 3 fingers onto your lap and lift your spine nice and tall. Just let your arms kind of soften a bit there. Chin mudra, we're connected to the whole. That niggling feeling that we get that we might be isolated. And then a friend comes along or a group of people come along and love us so freely that we think, wow, it was an illusion. I'm not separate. I'm not isolated. I'm a part of it. Connect to the whole, to us, all of us, everywhere, the everyone's everywhere. And then we're going to bring our right hand, the little circle that you've got between your first finger and thumb on your right hand, bring that into your heart space as though you're seeing through that circle. Close your eyes and see so clearly from your heart center. Feel a powerful truth within you as though the deep down is making itself known, because deep down you know how powerful you are, how clever and intelligent, how creative, how necessary it is for us, all of us, that you do what you need to do. Be directly through your heart center, your heart's prayer, your heart's truth. Feel a sense of faith in yourself. Notice how good it feels. Notice how good it feels to feel as though we can trust ourselves. We can bring our hands together in Anjali Mudra just to feel a sense of centeredness and prayerfulness. Whatever your heart's prayer, whatever it may be, at least let us listen for a moment. Let us listen to our heart's prayer for a moment. Suddenly we remember the world is a beautiful place. The world is such a beautiful place. The world is still a beautiful place. It's a pleasure to share it together. Namaste.